A big thank you to Brad Van Meter and his State Farm team down in Des Moines. Brad, a proud sponsor of Iowa women's basketball postgame coverage with Kasheen Alexander. Be sure you give Brad and his team a call at 515-256-6480, 515-256-6480, or visit him in person at 4229 Fleur Drive in Des Moines, online at bradvanmeter.com. Also, Iowa Smokehouse. Use that code Hawkeyes for 15% off your order. This code will not last forever. Be sure you get your orders in tonight. And you see it's delicious. I don't got to tell you about their bacon meat sticks, their jerky. Everything is delicious. Use that code Hawkeyes for 15% off your order. Also, as always, a big thank you to Big Grove Brewery. You see their logo up in the corner. Big Grove is the official watch party headquarters of your Hawkeyes, whether we're talking Iowa football or, in the case of tonight, Iowa women's basketball, as Iowa defeating Miami 64-61. But be sure you visit your local Big Grove Brewery, whether that be in Solon, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, Des Moines, now in Omaha. And I'll keep touting this, folks. I will be live on location at the Omaha Big Grove. Folks, if you're in the Council Bluffs, Omaha area, or you're willing to drive next week on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Time. We'll have a live show there at Big Grove. Be sure you come out and support the show, support our great sponsors, Big Grove Brewery. That appearance will also be sponsored by RTI Threads and a very special guest, which will be announced this weekend. Hawkeye fans, Hawkeye football fans, you'll want to be there. Again, Big Grove Brewery and their awesome locations all across the Midwest, but specifically Omaha next Wednesday at 5 p.m. And RTI Threads. You see I've got the Cooper DeJean shirt on. Had to pull it out for some cooler November weather and football today. Shop RTI Threads and these great Hawkeye athletes, Aaron Graves, Zach Lutmer, Jacob Gill, Carson Shire, all at rtithreads.com. Again, that's rtithreads.com. So, the Iowa women defeating Miami, Florida down in Orlando. We're going to be joined by Kasheen Alexander, former Hawkeye guard, Kasheen Alexander, in just one moment. But, wow, what a pair of games here in the state of Florida. Iowa squeaking by Baylor the other night in a defensive struggle. Very similar story today without chit-chat right tonight. blowing a late 10-point lead. Iowa finding a way down the stretch to make enough plays to escape with victory, almost similar to what we saw with the football program here earlier in the day. And I don't even know whether I should take our first call, but I think I'm going to try since Kasheen is not here yet. What do we got going on here, John? What? John, you've never called the show before.
Yeah, I called before.
All right. I usually say don't be a stranger of the show, but you don't have a shirt on.
Oh, well, I can put one on.
Oh, well,
I'm in Florida.
I've never made rules like this, but I get it. You get worked up during the game and you get excited and,
Well, I'm used to the cold weather and I'm in Florida, so.
Oh, well.
It's 70 and that feels warm.
Well, now that you're fully clothed, John, what'd you think of the win tonight?
I thought most of the game they played pretty good. You've seen signs of them getting, some of the passing where they made the quick passes. It's like they knew where the other person was going to be. So it looks like they're getting a little better that way. I thought Stremolo looked good in the first half. She played really good.
I thought she was phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her ability to see the floor. And again, she's playing somewhat out of position. We've not really seen her play a ton of point during her career at Iowa thus far. And without Chit Chat Wright, she was really going to be the necessary, general out there. And I thought she did a phenomenal job. I was not all that impressed by Miami's press. I'm going to ask Kasheen about that when she hops on here in a minute. But, it wasn't a perfect game. They turned the ball over. Let's see, total of for the game. And, of course, it booted me out here. For the game, Iowa turned the ball over 16 times.
Yeah.
You probably can live with that number against a team that is trying to turn you over. But, again, I was not all that impressed with Miami's press.
No, it was just the press. They just basically pressed them inbounding it, not getting up on them. It's not going to be like, Ohio press.
It's not Tennessee. It's not Tennessee. It's not Michigan State. But without Chit Chat Wright, there was some serious question about their ability to just advance the ball today. And I thought Taylor Stremolo answered that call.
Hayden looked great today.
Hayden is our RTI Threads player of the game, John. 20 points, 9 of 11. I believe she started 8 of 8 from the field, 6 points. She was great.
Now, down to the fourth quarter, they weren't letting her really get the ball into her. And when they started to press harder. So, Dalkey did good. I think everyone stepped up at some time or another in the game. Made a shot or.
I thought McCabe hit 3 big threes tonight. How about Addie Deal making a couple of big buckets?
She looked a little more comfortable. They all seemed to get a little, I don't know if they started hurrying their shots and stuff at the end when they started to get the press on them a little bit, a little more pressure. And then that was hurrying them up or something, in the shots because, they missed a few easy ones. So
yeah, they did miss a couple. And again, they played with fire there at the end with that last turnover, which I'm still not quite sure on why that play got called Miami ball other than just not having indisputable video evidence to overturn it because it looked like it was clearly off of Miami player. And then, of course, it maybe grazed Kylie Feuerbach's hand, but there was no way to really determine that. But it was called Miami ball on the floor. So,
But, at least we got the interception at the end of the game, so.
Yep, absolutely.
So that it worked out. They stepped up right at the end like they did the last game. Stepped up. So, but overall, I thought they played really good.
Yeah.
And this will, improve them for the next game. And, I don't know who they playing next. Anybody?
They get Western Illinois on Wednesday, so that'll be our watch party in Omaha. And then they get Fairfield the following Sunday. And Fairfield is good. Kasheen.
Now, Western, is that a MAC team?
No, Fairfield is, I don't know what conference they're in.
Which Western Michigan is?
Western Illinois is
Illinois.
I think Western Illinois is MVC, Missouri Valley.
Mm. So the teams they should have a good chance at.
Yeah, they should go 2-0 this next week. But again, Fairfield is tricky. They get that game at home, but they should have their full attention because Fairfield has tested some people this year. So
yeah.
Anything else, John?
No, not too much. I see. Yeah. Anything on the injury to Chit Chat?
Iowa just is saying it's upper body and that she's day to day. The good news is they got through this week in spite of it, 2-0 unscathed. And so I'm sure they'll be very careful with her. She was there on the sidelines. You saw her with the team. But I'm guessing they'll be very careful with her over these next two games. They proved today that they can win. They can win without her. I don't think long term that's an idea that you really want to flirt with, but they were able to pull through without her. So hopefully not as serious as maybe it initially looked.
No, let me what they shoot tonight. Field goals 44, 3-pointers 14%.
Yeah.
They shot 20. I didn't know they shot that many pointers.
Well, they were all Taylor. That's crazy. So the rest of the team was 0 for 18 from three. So if you had told me going into this game, John, that Iowa would go, with the exception being Taylor McKay, that the team would go 0 for 18 from three, that they'd be honestly, -5 on turnovers ain't that bad against this Miami team.
No.
But then you look at the stat lines. Stremlo only finishes with 7. Feuerbach finishes with 3. And then you get basically no production from your bench. You had 6 points total off your bench.
Yeah.
If you were to tell me they'd have those numbers and still win, I'd have said you were crazy. But they found a way to do it on the defensive end here.
Yeah.
Early.
Well, the bench didn't play much time either. They didn't have them in there much.
No.
So,
all right, John.
Okay, yeah. Well, they did
Thanks
good
for calling in, sir.
on offense and the boards and the offensive boards, they got them and stuff. So, yeah, Good game, and I'll let you go.
Okay, John. Appreciate the call, sir. All right. Let's add in Miss Kasheen Alexander. Kasheen.
What's up?
Good to see you. How you doing?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. This has been an exciting couple of games in Orlando.
2-0, baby. That's all that matters.
2-0, man. That's a phenomenal effort in spite of being down their lead guard and some numbers that are almost shocking. And maybe I'm being a little bit hyperbolic here. Now, I mentioned before you hopped on here because John hopped on. John hopped on without a shirt. So I'm glad that that John hopped on the show without a shirt on, and I had to tell him, "You don't have a shirt on, John. It's time to go put a shirt on." So John put a shirt on, and we're all good now. So I took that call. I saw it was happening. I took the call before you hopped on, so you didn't have to face that. So we'll have to make it.
Everything happens for a reason.
We'll have to make a new rule that you have to be fully clad in order to be on the show. So anyways, RTI Threads player of the game tonight, Ava Hayden, 20 points, 9 of 11, 6 rebounds. I said it 2 days ago with Taylor Stremlo. They don't win without Stremlo that night. And I thought Taylor Stremlo was really good at times tonight as well. I know the numbers maybe don't reflect that, but they don't win without Ava Hayden's 20 tonight, Kasheen. And her efficiency around the rim was exceptional. Her understanding of angles, we've really seen her come a long ways from her freshman year, obviously, but I thought it was showcased tonight because they were down one of their better offensive players in Chit Chat.
Yeah, absolutely. I think overall, they pulled this one out. I don't think by looking at the stats that anybody who did not watch the game would think that. I think that it was like this was a weird game for me in that aspect of there were times where I was like, oh, we look good. And then there was times where I was like, what are we doing? So I feel like it's a good learning game. It's a good growth game. I love that we fought back, going 8 minutes? I don't even know what the actual final count was. However long it was without scoring, having a team, because the more the run continued, the more confident Miami got in their press.
Yes. Yep.
And that is very hard as the opposing team, i.e. Iowa, to combat that. And the fact that we still stood our ground, regardless of the fact, okay, we still came out with the W is kudos to them. That's not an easy feat to do, especially with right at the end of the game, we had no momentum going our way, zero momentum going our way.
Yep.
And 2 claps for Taylor McKay. She's the one that poked that ball away at the end of the game. Go ahead, girl.
She's making some play. Like she's making some. Excuse me. I'm not trying to.
Some sneaky plays. I don't even know.
Just want to make it because you weren't on the football show earlier. I do have a hoarse voice. I promise I'm not going through like, 30-year-old puberty or anything like that. I was at the football game earlier today, but no, she's making we keep talking about her rebounding. She does have a knack for being down there. And, she had the play against Baylor where she's, heads up play, steal off the inbounds pass. And yeah, defensively, she's making little plays, almost kind of like what Gabby Marshall did. Gabby did that. I was thinking about that. We were so not used to Taylor McKay making, a steal off an inbounds pass. And yet that's something Gabby did a lot, right? Mm-hmm. Gabby did that kind of thing a lot. So I almost feel like I'm seeing a little bit of a Gabby Marshall emulating from Taylor McCabe here in her final season. Do you see any of that, Kasheen?
I think that, Taylor has added a few things to her game every year. There's always been something. Obviously fans and everything else, you want more, right? That's just kind of the name of the game. But really looking at where she started to where she is now, she's really, truly added things slowly but surely to her game. And I feel like this year, I haven't said one time that, I haven't been mad at her. You know what I mean? But shooting is shooting. You're going to have off days. You're going to have great days. I don't really judge a shooter off of that unless you've had a month, you know what I mean? Of that. But she's just kind of even keeled now. And that's something she didn't have last year. Yep. So good for her.
It just body language wise and the way she carries herself on the court, it looks like she's playing with an all-time level of confidence. Very similar to the younger Taylor Strimlow. She just looks confident now, right? I mean, she was 3 of 10 tonight. She didn't make a 3, but we're going to get to Big Grove's big play of the day in a second. That little baseline move. Ooh, man, that thing was spicy.
He also had the behind the back pass. What? Who was making
did have the behind the back pass? Yeah,
he could have had 2 Big Grove players.
Yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, she's on one. Okay,
she is,
because you throwing behind the back passes in your first. You know what? Hey, do your thing, girl.
Do your thing, man. Iowa women's basketball undefeated. And by the way, we were speculating about how good is Baylor. We still don't really know how good Baylor is. They went to overtime with Davidson. But for people that don't realize it, this is I almost called them the U because they're the U. This is a Miami team that beat Davidson yesterday as well. I guess by 8. I was thinking it was a little bit more than that. But, this is an Iowa team that's probably going to go up to top 12, top 13 in the rankings come Monday. I think they come out Monday, right? So anyways, we'll see. I mean, this is a phenomenal, just gutted out type of 2-game event in Orlando. Big Doug, appreciate your super chat. Nice win. I despise pulling all players from the lane on free throws. Just have them stand there, give the shooter some friendly faces. When were all the players pulled from the line? Am I missing something? I don't remember that happening.
But the point is, some people like it, some people don't. I don't think it really matters with a shooter.
Your thoughts on that final sequence? Your thoughts on the final sequence that went to replay on the out of bounds throwaway that was called Miami ball? Am I missing something, or why wasn't that Iowa?
Definitely Miami's ball.
Okay, so I must be missing something. So explain what I'm missing.
I can't remember who it was right now. Whoever it was with us, yes, we touched it. So and then you're talking about the one out of bounds that Hannah threw away, right?
Yes, I'm talking about did Kylie touch that ball?
To me, that was Miami's ball.
Okay. I just didn't see the ball change direction once it passed Kylie's hand, but maybe I saw it wrong. Doug, thank you for the super chat. Let's go to our next caller here. We got Tyler logging on. Tyler, welcome to the show.
Hey, Corey, can you hear me?
I got you.
All right, awesome. For some reason, I can't hear Kasheen on StreamYard. I don't know why, but it's just muted.
Can anybody else not hear me? Can anybody hear me?
I think everybody on YouTube can hear her because I can hear her, and I don't see anybody else complaining about it. So that's strange. But
okay,
you want to log out and log back in, Tyler, and see if that should fix it.
Okay, yeah, let me try that real quick.
Okay, we'll bring you back in here in a second. Yep. I don't know what everybody's saying they can hear Cash. So
okay, I just want to make sure because I was like, oh my god,
we all got you clearly. So yeah. What was I going to hit? So there's a comment here in the chat that I wanted to hit before we. So I guess clarify this real quick. What was the second 3-point line? Is that an NBA 3-point line? That's not an NBA 3-point line. That's a college 3-point line, correct?
No, I think that's the NBA 3-point line. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty certain.
Okay,
because they have where our 3-point line is now is not too far from the NBA now, if I'm not mistaken. So I assumed it was NBA because of where it was located.
Yeah, one of us is going to look dumb here because there were only 2 lines, and the one line looked like the old college basketball 3-point line that jutted right up against the back of the free throw bubble. But I could be totally off on that. So somebody will clear this up.
I'll have to look again.
Yeah. Justin says, "Did you have supper at Don's?" I did not, but Don, we did watch the game together. I'll admit that. So let's bring Tyler back in here. Tyler, you got Kasheen this time? Tyler?
Yeah, I have her on the screen. Can you talk so I can see if I can hear you?
Hi.
Okay, perfect. Yep, it works. It works now.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Welcome to the show, Tyler.
I mean, thank you. First time calling on a basketball show. Usually I watch the football one, but I actually went to this game. And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on maybe like the refereeing of this game because there were a lot of yelling and screaming and boo birds and stuff like that against the refs. So I just wanted to kind of see your thoughts on that.
Real quick, you were in person in Orlando. You were at the game?
Yeah, I was at the game. Yep.
Okay. I didn't think the officiating was as bad tonight as it was 2 nights ago, Kasheen. Maybe I'm. What did you think?
I'm not with you on that, and I only say this because the freedom of movement today was horrible. I can't tell you how many times our post players got pushed in the back.
Okay.
Like blatantly pushed in the back. We're not even talking like just a ride. I'm talking that the freshman post player they had. I mean, whole backs was getting flown forward. It was insane. I was like, are we not calling that? Like, hello? Like, but I feel like that was very strong to me in regards to that kind of physicality in the post. I do think probably more, I would say guard related was worse in the other game. But the post play to me was non-existent in regards to the refs being blind in my mind. I don't understand that. That was all of them are going to need ice baths. And I mean that from both sides. It was just a slugfest in the post, which I didn't.
So I guess my thing is it didn't feel one-sided is what I'm saying. Do you feel like it was one-sided?
I do. No, I think that because, let me say this, because we pound the ball in more on our team, it was worse for us. They don't pound the ball in as much as we do. So like it didn't seem as bad on their end because there's not that much over there. You know what I'm saying in that regard. But it was just a lot. Our whole offense goes through our posts. Whether our posts are making a move, whether we're cutting off of it, everything kind of goes through the post. So it was like every possession, it felt like they were getting pushed and even a few times Hannah she took like 2 steps away from where she started because the girl had pushed her on her first dribble. And I was like, no, okay. All right. That's what we're doing today. So, I mean, our girls adjusted, thank the Lord, but that was crazy.
So Tyler, I'm assuming you said the boo birds were flying in Orlando. From your vantage point, small arena, did you think the officiating was bad?
I think there are a couple of calls that should have definitely been called. think one comes to mind where I think it was on Ava, or I could be wrong there, where basically I think it was number 0 for Miami, basically hooked her. And I think it even had Jan like jumping up and down trying to get them to call the foul, and they just said the ref basically just threw up her hands like. So yeah, I mean there are definitely calls that should have been called on Miami that just weren't. But yeah, it's good point though that I mean the whole offense goes through the post, so makes sense that we're obviously gonna.
Absolutely, yeah. Ava and Height and Stolke. It's going to be the story of those two all year. Their offense is going to depend on those two, and we saw that tonight because they didn't look all that different offensively tonight than they did the other night. Now I know they lost Chit Chat during the game against Baylor, but Kasheen, are you surprised at I don't want to say the ineffectiveness because they did force 16 Iowa turnovers, but I expected Miami to be a little bit based on what I hadn't watched a ton of Miami basketball, but based on what I'd heard, I expected them to be able to take advantage of lack of ball handling on Iowa's side, and it didn't really feel like they did that tonight. 16 turnovers total for Iowa.
That's way too many. But
but it's not. It's 16 turnovers. Jan's going to live with that. She's going to live with 16 turnovers.
No, she's not.
She's living with 30 turnovers last year against Tennessee.
Listen, at the end of the day, you're never living with anything. Let's say with that. In the end of the day, yes, a win is a win, so that's fine. But she's not going to like 16 turnovers, especially when Miami didn't start picking up their pressure until the end of the game. So what are we throwing the ball away for? Like in that scenario. Secondly, I agree with you. I thought that Miami was going to be what they were at the end of the game. Like that's the kind of pressure that I was expecting. And it wasn't the case. And I didn't understand that. Honestly speaking, I didn't know why the coach was not like ramping it up to try to get their team moving. Maybe that was coaching malpractice on their end, I guess, in that aspect. But yeah, I was expecting them to be like they were at the end of the game, the whole game, or at least majority of it, and they were not.
I mean, short prep, but based on what you told me the other night, this is who they are.
Yeah, listen. I don't really know why they decided to go that route, but I don't think it was the right decision on their end.
Tyler, anything else?
Yeah, I just have 2 more quick points. I think Hannah Stolke had a good game. I think she rushed a couple of her shorter shots, but overall, I think she had a lot of clutch baskets. And secondly, this was definitely like a home game away from home for Iowa. I think I've seen like maybe 5 Miami fans the whole time I was there. So that's really surprising. But I know Florida has a lot of Iowa fans in general, but still good to see.
But Iowa fans travel exceptionally well, and they travel for this program exceptionally well. I mean, they've always traveled well for Iowa football, but yeah, we don't see this like for the men. I hate to say this. I don't want to discourage people. If they've got their plans, they got their plans. But the men go out to Palm Desert in California next week, and they play Ole Miss, and then they play either Utah or Grand Canyon. They won't have a crowd like that. I mean, they just won't. And that's credit to Iowa women's basketball and what they've built, what Jan and company have built. And you're right about
awesome.
Hannah was good.
Yes.
So
awesome. Well, y'all have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
For calling.
Absolutely. All right.
I have a negative.
Okay, go ahead.
I have one negative.
Okay.
A growth, a learning point. I thought that Jan Jensen's substitutions were horrible today. Okay. Very bad. And I say that because we played our 5 starters 30 plus minutes. That's insane. Because they have not done that. If we were going to do that to begin with, like when I played, we had people that I played like that. right? So, but you're used to that. I thought during our stretch, we were tired. This is your second game in what, 3 days? Where are we at? 3 days? 2 games, 3 days? You cannot play people like that. You're gonna be in a struggle. And so for me, I was like, mixed with the fact that we were playing those people like that, mixed with some of our lineups were like, oh, I hate this lineup. Oh, this is not a good mix of people. Like things like that. I just felt, and I get it. When Layla went out, it was kind of like, what do we do? It's very simple. Put Hannah at the 5, put Journey at the 4. Journey should not be playing 1 minute. Okay, that is just not. She has done so many good things for us. I just feel like that's weird, especially in that scenario. Then on top of that, I felt like we're overplaying our guards. They have a lot to do. I get it. Trust me. But at the same point in time, you have to be able to manage not only your players, but the clock and their minutes, because they're going to wear down at the end of the game. This is the beginning of the season. They have not played. You know, we're not talking January, February, when their bodies are used to playing 30, 35, 38. They haven't gotten there yet. And I felt like during that stretch, that was probably one of the reasons why, is because our shots were shorter, things like that, because they were tired. This is the first time they played 2 games in 3 days. I felt like it just needed to be better substitution on her end. Just my point of view.
Well, they're down Chit Chat Right, who's going to play. Going to give you 35 minutes a game. All right. And you brought up Layla, who went down briefly with an injury. Addie Deal, with all due respect to Addie Deal, she's young. She
played 15 minutes. I'm not worried about her time.
Okay. Well, I was going to say she hasn't proven to be able to be trusted with the ball in pressure situations by any means. And I would venture to say no one else has proven to be trustworthy with the ball. So what I'm saying is,
when we were up 10 plus, why the hell are your starters in like that? That's where you get them rest. I'm not asking them to be in at the end. No,
plus, man, it wasn't much more crazy. It was what, 12, 13? It's not like this was a big league.
I understand, but that's where the game management comes into play. You cannot be playing your best players in cohesiveness, right? And I'm not saying take out 3 and bring in 3. I'm not saying that. You take in 1, you put 1 out, you come back in. I'm saying that you're still going to have your core on the court, but you cannot leave it to the end, because you know Miami was going to come with all the heat in the world. I could have guessed that. Every team, regardless if you're a pressing team or not, is going to have to pick up the pressure at the end of the game. But because they're known for that anyways, I knew it was coming. And the fact that we were still in the game, the whole damn team played the whole fourth quarter. Like, I mean, the starting 5, what did you expect? Anybody is going to be tired with that. Now you put in the press on top of that. It was only right that was going to happen at some point. I'm saying manage it early so that your starting 5 is still semi-fresh for when you need them down the line. That's all I'm saying.
John Rothmeyer agrees with you. He says a lack of rotation in the second half was bad. So I guess I wasn't thinking in the same terms that you played the game at a high level. I did not. I will say what my thought on the whole situation was at the time was, man, they've got to keep, like, Taylor's got to be on the floor for me to feel comfortable.
I get that.
Taylor McCabe's got to be on the floor because she's the only one who's proven to be able to hit outside shots tonight. And by the way, she is the only one who hit a 3 tonight. The rest of the team was 0 for 18 from outside. Okay. So that's part of it. And I think they want Kylie in there for defensive purposes. So I can see getting latched onto that group. And then obviously Ava and Hannah might be your 2 best players overall. Yep. And the other thing about this is, yes, there's a chance of wearing down by the end of a game, but they have a very favorable week in front of them back home. And you hope you get Chit Chat back. I don't know.
We almost lost, though, because of us being tired. Now, again, if we're thinking in strategic mode, this is something that I know I've done as a coach and even as a player. When you know you don't, just like you said, everything you just said is absolutely right. What you do is you help your players. So what that means is the third quarter, right? I take out one of my players. I take out Ava, let's say, right? Or this is a good time to put in a Journey because you know she's not going to do anything bad. She's only going to provide good things, right? You put in a Journey to end the game. That gives Ava not only that minute left in the game, but it also gives her the minute of break, minute and a half, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it may be before the fourth quarter starts, right? Now you've got your media timeouts. You've got whatever you got. That's how you, as a coach, manage your substitutions. Not saying that you're going to take them out just any, nilly-willy. You really have to figure out during the game is a strategic point of figuring out, okay, we've got this first media timeout coming up. I'm going to take her out, and then that'll give her some extra rest, plus the media timeout. Now I put her back in. Those are things that have to happen during this time. Now, Coach Jay is a young coach, and I mean in the sense of she hasn't been a head coach for very long in that sense. But that's somewhere that I feel like growth needs to happen because that could have easily went the other way tonight in that sense. Thankfully, the clock ran out. So we're good to go.
I feel like I'm the only I'm the glass half full guy today because I came on earlier for our football show and I was battling Kyle because he was being negative Nancy about their win over a bad team in Michigan State. Today I'm looking at this being like, hey, they just beat Miami. They beat there were two teams that were previously undefeated, and they basically beat both of them without their lead guard.
Agreed.
And I'm just like, hey, they got growing pains to work through, but I'm struggling to.
It's a great win coming out 2-0 with your lead guard being out pretty much both games. I don't think anybody would have guessed that. This is a win. We also found Taylor Stremlow this week. This is a win. It's just something that Coach Jay, this has nothing to do with the team. Coach Jay is going to have to do work in order for this not to happen. Because if we play just a little bit better team, if we play just a little bit better pressing, there's a little bit more time on the clock. The girls didn't lose that game. You did.
You're
so
right.
that's what I'm saying in regards to that. She's going to have to be better in regards to managing, especially when you're down in numbers. When we're our strength, I'm sure she got it covered.
Well, I'll say this. I brought up Addie Deal. Let me also bring up Tegan Mullaney because it'd be nice to have that extra player that you could bring in since Chit Chat was out. But Tegan came in, with all due respect to Tegan, it was really rough, really fast. Okay.
Yeah.
Jacking up every shot she sees, airballing a three. And I know, you're not playing much. It's hard. But I think Jan, I think that was, she never came back after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if the same thing kind of happened with Emily and how she played 2 days ago. I told you after that game, I'm like, I kind of like Emily because she's so fearless. But I think we saw that reflected in her lack of minutes tonight. Like she just didn't play much tonight.
She played 4 minutes, which I think is abysmal. And like I said,
I agree.
Journey playing 1 minute is.
I agree with you on both of those. I could see, I guess I'll wrap this up with saying this and we'll get to our next caller. I could see sort of getting latched onto the group that I brought up earlier because of what I said earlier. But at the same time, if you look down your bench and you have Emily Rodriguez and you have Journey Houston, you got to get them in the game more. And, Ava had her
release them quick. We're not saying it's got to be forever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she'll look at this film. I know she will. She'll look at this film and figure out what she could have done and what she should have done, et cetera, and break it down. It's just one of my observations.
All right, let's go to our next. We've got Steven on hold. We'll go to our next phone caller. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kasheen Alexander. Who's on the line?
Hey, how's it going? It's Justin.
Who is this?
Justin.
Hey, Justin. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, man.
Cool.
Hey, since you just talked about Erod, I guess I'll go back to that. I thought the team looked a little flat when she wasn't on the field.
The team looked flat without Emily Rodriguez on the court. Kasheen, would you agree with that?
I thought there was a little less excitement, a little less danger, I guess.
Well, there's a lot less excitement and a lot less danger when she's not on the court. That is true. You're very.
For both sides.
Can we agree though that is something? I mean, I said it the other day. That's something this team's going to need.
It's like, I feel like people that love Emily Rodriguez loves a little toxicity in their life. Like, I feel like that's what it is. Because at this point, you're right. I could have never said it better myself, Justin, in as far as like what you just said, a little bit of danger. Because you're absolutely right. But you're right. Yeah, I think she has to play. She has to play. I get it. She's going to make mistakes. I get it. Trust me. But she got to play.
Yeah. And then I'll touch on Tegan Mulaney. I thought maybe we're just playing her just scared that she's going to transfer out. I felt like we're just giving her a minute.
Well,
I didn't feel like she brought anything.
Well, they're down. I mean, they're down chit chat. So the rotation was one player shorter. I mean, right, Kasheen, isn't that they're playing Taylor at the 1, and so I don't know. I do think it's a little bit odd that we saw. To your point, caller, that's a fair point to bring up, because how many minutes did you say Journey Houston got, Kasheen? 1. So why play Tegan at all if you're only going to give your backup 4 1 minute?
That's kind of my argument. Is I thought Journey should have been in, but
yeah, I don't disagree with that. I told Kasheen during the game, Kasheen, I shot you a message because it was getting kind of rough there. What was it? Part of the second quarter, and I'm just like, man, they got to get Tegan out of there. So, and I know it's hard to play. Kasheen, you've been in that position, I'm sure, coming off injury or something, but you're cold, you haven't played. I mean, that is hard to do in a situation like that, in a very physical game, and someone with Tegan Mulaney, who's not a naturally aggressive physical player, to all of a sudden come in and be effective, right?
Yeah, I think that when you're coming off injury, you can't expect the change to happen in the game. You've got to get your swagger back in everything that you have through practice, because you're literally playing all day, right? And if you haven't got it back in practice, it's not going to come alive in the game. I can tell you that now. So I think that for Tegan, again, I don't know practice on or anything of the sort, but I just didn't understand the logic behind it, only because up to this point, Journey has done nothing to warrant this shift. Right?
Well, like nothing in a game, but we don't know.
Yes. Again, I don't know anything about practice, but in a game, Journey has warranted nothing that would suggest we should not be playing her as our backup 4, right? Our next option after Hannah scenario. And I was just kind of like, okay, well, maybe, okay. I could see maybe Tegan in the sense if they were playing a zone or something, but I didn't understand that substitution logic. So I'm with you there, Justin.
Yeah, I thought Journey would have been a better spot, but it's all right. And then Addie Thiel, I thought, showed a lot of promise.
I agree. Yeah, I still see flashes in her. There were moments tonight where I'm like, okay, she looks more comfortable. It's not there yet. But you hope that maybe this sort of a situation, Kasheen, where you just down a guard and she has to play more against a team that's going to press her and make her look bad at times, is almost going to help her to mature quicker. Is that possible that happens?
I hope. Let's be honest. I hope that that's the case.
Because you got abused your freshman year, didn't you? I mean, you
100%. Hey, now let's use the word abuse very lightly, okay? Because that was not the case. I was there for one reason only my freshman year, and that was to play defense. So I was the person that was coming in when the game was on the line to stop whoever. That was me. I was there to help win games defensively. That was me. I had no offensive anything my freshman year. And then I had a freshman summer, and then I was starting my sophomore year. So, yeah. Abuse that's a little much, Corey.
I was actually being sarcastic. I thought you were going to say, no, I wasn't abused.
Abuse is a little much. Like, freshman year, though, is a lot. Mentally, physically, emotionally, it is a lot. That's why I say that a lot, because no matter where you are, it's still a lot. Even for Caitlin as her freshman year, and I say year in totality, it's an adjustment. Now, luckily for her, I think that was during COVID, right? So she ain't had to worry about all that other stuff. Most people weren't even really, I don't want to say checking for Caitlin, but most people weren't checking for Caitlin her freshman year because it was COVID.
Right.
So she could just play and learn and have nothing that Addie Deal is having right now. Wasn't a thing. But sophomore year, now everybody's watching her play. And now, you know what comes with that. But freshman year is tough. I don't care for who, but it's tough. Mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Anything else, Justin?
Yeah, I just want to touch base on the Strem show, old Stremlo.
Yeah.
I think she sees the ball so much faster than everybody around her. And you see it with, like, the tip pass against Baylor down to Layla Hayes. And I think it's kind of impressive and it's fun to watch. And I think that gives her the edge.
I would agree with that. And Kasheen, she's got great vision. She's got great handles, and she's a very good passer. She makes. Remember last year, there were moments where she was like almost out of control with the passes she was trying to make, but she was trying to make them because she made them in high school. So she obviously she has a knack.
Didn't we say last year that some of her passes were like Caitlin-esque in a sense? Like you could see where she was seeing things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It may not have been delivered all the time on point like that, but you were like, oh, damn. Like, things like that. And now it's actually being delivered because that's what happens when you actually have a freshman year and you adapt and adjust to the pace.
Yeah.
That's all you got, Justin?
I think she's developing fast.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Justin, thank you for calling in.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it, sir.
Enjoy the show. Thanks, Corey. Thanks, Cash.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, guys.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's see. We've got a couple of super chats to get to before we move to our next caller, which is Steven. Bo is in the chat. He says, hope this team can learn to impose their game instead of adapting to the opponent's game. Baylor and Miami felt like old-style Wisconsin teams grinding. Do you agree with that comparison, Cash?
That's leadership, Bo. But yes, I agree.
And Doug, thank you for the super chat. The close three-point line is the high school line. That's what I was thinking.
I don't know. I got to go back and look at the court.
That's what I was thinking. So thank you, Doug. And Annie is here with a super chat, and I don't see the comment. I'll try to find your comment if possible. So Lemansky, thank you for the super chat. Cash, the way Hawkeyes play defense, does that wear down players also? Does Iowa's defense wear teams down?
I would say to a degree, not to the extent of like a pressing team, but our defense is pretty good to the point where teams are not able, to shoot the ball in the first 10 to 15. They're later in the shot clock, which means you're running offense longer. So in a way, yes.
Thank you, Lemansky. We very much appreciate the super chat donation. Let's go to our next caller. We've got Steven, and then we got Corey. We'll start with Steven. Steven, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, how's it going?
Thank you for having a shirt on, Steven. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's my Arike Gumbawale shirt.
Nice.
But, so I want to bring some positivity to this post-game show since we got a dub tonight. And so I would like to highlight the bounce back from Ava and Hannah. 20 and 17, I think they had. And Ava, 8 for 8 to start the game. And this is not against like some shorties out there, like, D2 centers or anything. This is that Kyle was she's 6'6", and with length and, like you said, physicality. And after that Baylor game, you get a little nervous that when they get into Big Ten play, some of the taller athletes might be able to shut down our go-to scoring. And the bounce back today was really nice to see.
I don't think anybody. I can only speak for myself. I've never been worried about Ava since like our second game in regards to her finishing. She has a lot of. So yesterday our last post game, I was talking about Hannah not having as many different ways to finish. I'm not talking about the move. I'm talking about the finish. Ava has a billion ways to finish. Under, over, all kinds of ways. With that, you can be sneaky against a 6'6", a 6, whoever she comes up, 6'7" if there is one, things like that. So I'm not really worried about her ever finishing over somebody because with her quickness, her athleticism, and being able to have multiple ways of finishing, I'm really not worried about her. Hannah, I will always be worried about because she struggles finishing. So in that aspect, I'm always like, ooh, let's see who her matchup is, because that depends in that aspect. But I still think Ava had a good game last game. I just don't think we were able to get her the ball to do that like we did this game.
She got maybe like 6 shots blocked last game though too, which was out of the norm for her. But
who, Hannah?
No, Ava. I mean, they blocked like 14 or something. What'd she shoot in that Baylor game? She missed I think she was
I
2
don't
of
remember
8
her
at one
shot
time.
getting blocked that much. Hannah alone had 6 block shots.
Yeah. That's a Hannah thing. But I mean, even Hannah tonight had 17. She had 2 that I think were blocked that I remember that were frustrating. The one touchdown pass where she had a step and it was like, why not? Got to finish that. Yeah, no kidding. Jump stop. Amen.
Go off too. I was singing too. I was like, oh my God, just jump stop. Just jump stop. Of course not.
Yeah, but it was good, and I do feel like there had to be something about that gym that just made it hard to shoot, because no team could shoot this whole tournament, and I don't know if it was the line or if that's just an optical illusion because the high school line's painted on the court and you're not used to that. But it was some ugly shooting.
Can I just say real quick? I never played college basketball, but I've played my share of basketball, right? Albeit at the amateurish level. I hate having a 2 lines out there. I'm serious. I just think that's stupid, and I don't know why you can't not have that. I mean, seriously, we can't not have that for an event of this magnitude that's on ESPN.
We used to have 2 lines. There was a men's line and a women's line. That's irritating.
Well, I know, but it's irritating. You just said it. So why do it today for high school? Get rid of the high school line.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
My assumption is that the high school line is permanent and the other line is not.
That's
my
they probably do. They probably do a lot more high school tournaments there in Orlando.
Wait, hold on a second. Time out. So you're telling me there's no way to? Maybe I'm just totally. I'm not a equipment.
Not to take it away. No, it's either on the court or it's not.
No, I'm saying you. Okay, so this is not a removable court, because some courts are.
No, you got.
Yeah, they'd have to bring in a whole new court.
Yeah, they're not. They'll just put another line on outside.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
To me, I'd say if I'm these different. Well, I guess it's probably not happening, but I'm sure there's plenty of options.
That's not like the college they played at. That's like a regular all event place,
like Disney World. But. So I guess I'll just leave you all with one question, which is, after finally playing some real competition and not these bye wins they've been getting, what do you think this does say about the team as they approach Big Ten play? Did we learn anything? How do you think they set up for Big Ten play? Thank you again for your all you do.
Absolutely, thank you, Steven. Yeah, that's a good question. We're not to Big Ten play.
He's a great caller. He needs to call in more. I don't know. I forgot what he say his name was.
That was Steven, I believe.
Steven. Right? Call in some more. Okay. I feel much better than I did 3-4 games ago. Does that count for something? Because I was like, ooh, okay. We need to be tested, which I think we have in multiple ways. We got to get healthy though. We have to get healthy. So that kind of depends. But if we could get healthy and we're back to our core, our solid, I feel a little bit better in that aspect. I don't think that it has made me feel like, oh, we're going to be top 2. Like, I'm not there. Okay. But I'm much better than I was for sure. I think that with Taylor Stremlow, because we had said that with our first 2 games, that she is going to need to come alive. So with her coming alive, I feel like that's good. We got to get Emily back on track because I think right now she's second guessing herself. We got to get her back in that aspect. But overall, I mean, we got Ava. She's been doing good. Hannah's doing what Hannah does. Taylor's doing what Taylor does. So it's just the other pieces in that aspect. Some good, some bad in regards to Taylor being a good bright spot and then getting some other players, like, let's get them back on track. But overall, I feel pretty good.
Jordan says, who was the player of the game? Missed that part. Our player of the game was Ava Hayden with 20 points and 6 rebounds, 9 of 11 from the field, as our caller alluded to. She was 8 of 8 to start the game. RTI Threads player.
9 of 9, no?
Maybe she was 9 of 9. She might have. I know that the ESPN Plus showed the graphic. How we like it, I'm sure there's people that are. I can't believe we haven't gotten any comments about the game being on ESPN Plus. I'm sure there's people upset about that, right?
Are there? Oh.
So I don't know how this works. Does everybody who has Disney Plus, do they automatically get ESPN Plus now? Or is there?
Oh, I have no idea. I have ESPN, so I couldn't even tell you.
Okay.
I think so, though. Based off of what I feel like I've heard around, I think that's true.
And Big Grove's big play of the day, Taylor Strimlow's nifty crossover, hesitation, and reverse layup finish. Is there a better way to describe that play late in the second quarter than the way I wrote it out here, Kasheen? She crossed somebody over, right, left to right crossover, and then had that little stutter, hesitation, baseline reverse layup. That was nifty, right? I mean, that was.
I actually like the finish more than the actual The finish was so smooth.
You never did that, did you?
No.
I'm trying.
I just bullied those people at the end of the day.
Did you have pretty? I mean, obviously you had good handles, but like. How would you rate your vision on a scale of like 1 to 10?
My vision? I was a great passer.
No, I'm not talking about I'm saying vision.
Oh, you said vision.
Okay, there's a difference between being a good passer and having good vision. You can have good vision, but you're not a great passer. You can be a good passer, but you don't have great vision. Those are two.
I have a question. If you have good vision and you can't pass, how are we going to see the vision? Because you ain't passing it.
Okay, that's fair. That is fair.
I mean. We in your mind like, oh, they saw that pass.
Well, I'm thinking, no, you know what? I'll give you an example.
Okay, go.
Taylor Strimlow last year.
Okay, fine.
You got to admit, we could tell last year Taylor Strimlow had excellent vision, but she had not showcased her ability to pass yet, and now we're seeing that come together. So, but you're probably right.
Yeah, I had both. I was good at both. I was a good passer. Yes.
So what scale?
So for example, we played, I don't remember what year, probably my junior year, I think. We played at Stanford in the NCAA tournament, and Tara Vanderveer we ended up losing to Stanford. Tara Vanderveer literally said in the press conference, we had 2 choices. We either get beat by Cash driving and kicking, because she's going to get past us, or we just let her score. Literally, that was her. She was like, we either go 2 or 3. And my choice was, let's stick for the 2 and don't allow any 3s. And that's exactly what they did. Every time I drove to the basket, they stuck to their players and just let me go for layups. It was crazy.
I'm going to go try to.
Yeah, I think I had like 29 points or something like that.
Was that your career high?
I was tired.
Was that your career high?
I don't remember. No, I don't think so.
You went higher than 29?
I think so. I feel like it was at Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. But that game I was tired. And I couldn't figure out in the game, like, what the hell? Nobody's coming? Okay, fine. Took me a second to figure it out. But once I did, I was like, okay, I guess it's the Kasheen game today.
Merlin in the chat says, Merlin can hear you all the way from Colorado. So we're going to put our next phone call.
Turn down your volume, Merlin.
No, I think he's
I'm
saying
kidding.
He can hear you, yes. All right, we'll go back to our phone line before we get to Corey, because Corey's a very special caller. Corey's a very special caller. So
do me a favor, everybody. Do me a favor. Put where you're calling from in the chat. Like I am so. We had somebody from Maine the other day. Like
we got people all over the place. Come on now.
Yes, put where you're from in the chat. That is something I'm always curious about.
I'm going to get all these different locations.
Hawks fans are everywhere. I just love it. I'm in every airport I ever was in. There was somebody with a Hawks shirt on. It was beautiful.
True. I remember small town in the middle of like the Willamette Valley in Western Oregon. And I remember coming across somebody with an Iowa license plate or something. I'm like, yeah, this is crazy. So anyways, we'll go back. We'll run through them because I'm sure are they streaming in right now, Cash? All the different.
Yes, locations? I love this. It's literally. First of all, I did not know Mr. VMS was in Charlotte. Why didn't I know that?
Oh, okay, cool. VMS is in Charlotte.
That's crazy.
Very neat.
I love this.
Carla says that Corey is right. Whatever. I don't.
Corey is right, Carla.
I don't know what she's talking about. This was a while back, but
Sure.
yeah, I mean, that's the first time I've heard that today, so that's good. Anyways, let's go back to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kasheen Alexander. Who's on the line?
Hi, this is Chris in Wyoming.
Hey, Chris. How are you?
Hey. Oh, I'm okay. I just called with one thing. You were talking about the broadcast, ESPN 3 or ESPN
ESPN Plus.
Which I don't have. Yes, I don't have it, but I watch the game live on YouTube.
Oh, it was on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I watched it live on YouTube. Yeah,
Okay.
so people can check that out if you don't. Yeah,
Well,
because sometimes.
yeah, we're not advocating for illegal streams, but they are out there, right?
Well, and it was a very high quality illegal stream, I must say.
I thought Chris is so innocent, Cash. I thought she was going to say, "Oh, I didn't know it was illegal." She's like, "Well, it was a very high quality illegal stream."
Chris, listen, if they're gonna do it, I'm gonna watch it. Okay.
Well, and you're not going to get penalized for watching it, So. And I wasn't gonna, sign up for whatever the package is just to watch one game. I'm cheap.
Well, of course, aren't we all?
Yeah. Well, I'm probably cheaper than most. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
Okay.
Except that Emily Rodriguez still makes me nervous.
She didn't play.
No.
She wasn't playing.
Well, I watched the last game when she did this desperation shot at the end of the game.
Oh, that double! You talking about the double spin move? That was beautiful. That was.
I love the spin move.
The double
I
spin.
really did, but shooting from the floor was unnecessary.
Well,
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
They got to put that in the end of the year film. They got to.
Somebody brought that up earlier today in the chat. I think she paid the price for that tonight with her lack of minutes. And I don't agree with that, but it appears that she paid the price for that tonight. Jan was clearly not happy with some of that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, she'll make better decisions. That's all it boils down to. I like her spunk.
Yep.
And I like the guy that said she was dangerous, because she is. So, but I'm glad we pulled out the win, and I think we kind of have a better idea of what this team can do. So I'm going to continue to look forward to what they. Anyway, that's all I have to say. And go Hawks.
Go Hawks, Chris. Thanks for the call. Absolutely. Okay. Looking here through a couple of comments that we got a few minutes ago, and we're going to put our next caller on hold. Okay. I want to get to this comment before we get to our next caller. This is from Erica. Super chat from Erica. She says, I don't feel that Lisa Bluter was the best at rotating either. So Erica agrees with you. I will say it was an odd day of rotations. And speaking of rotations, Christian is telling me, don't pick on Tegan. I'm not picking on
Christian,
Tegan.
why not?
I mean, is that picking on, okay, can I bring something up for a second?
Sure.
Why doesn't this happen in the men's game? Why is it that I'm just going to ask you a question? You answer why is it that when I, criticize Isaiah Howard, Cam Manyow, Peyton Sanford, Price Sanford, why is it I can say this guy was a disaster when he came in? This guy, did this, or that. When I say it in the women's game, it's don't pick on her. Like, come on now. These are athletes. Am I right or wrong, Cash?
Yes. I think constructive criticism is something that all genders should be able to take.
It's not even criticism. It's just analysis.
I agree. It's all the same. But I do feel like women in the women's sports is a little bit more like kid gloves in a sense, which I don't think it should be personally, because as long as you're not being rude, nasty, disrespectful, and that kind of thing, then I'm just telling you the observation that all of us are seeing with our two eyes.
I mean, like, I'm just curious, does the coaching staff operate that way?
Absolutely not. What?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So why do we have to put on this facade and act like, we can't say what we feel? I mean, it's nothing personal. Like I say, there's so many things that we've gotten ripped for.
You'd be surprised.
Okay. All right, let's go back to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kasheen Alexander. Who's on the line?
Hey, it's Tom in Kasheen. I'm in Des Moines, Iowa. I just want to comment a little bit about the drought we experienced at the end of the game. And I had a question as I watched it, and in particular as I watched our bench and the assistant coaches on the bench. And I had this question last year when we went through that 5-game losing streak. And my question last year was, do none of these assistants have the green light to give Jan an opinion in the middle of the game? I just didn't see any interaction or meaningful interaction in any of that stretch where it looked like she was getting any input from the assistants. And, whoever the assistants were who did the scout on these last 2 games, they really did a great job. I mean, the defensive lockdown was great. But I don't see any sign that these assistants have the green light to be helping her. And, in that fourth quarter and in that 5-game stretch last year, Jan needed help. But that's my comment. Thanks. Love the show.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate the call.
Thank you.
Your thoughts on that, Kasheen? Just assistant input. Is that something that you've given much thought?
Every head coach does things differently. I will say that assistant coaches always are giving input during timeouts. The coaches go meet and huddle and they talk through. That is the time where all assistant coaches say what they think we should run offensively, defensively, etc. Now, based off of each head coach, some of them break it up into so I was part of the defensive coaches at one school, right? Because they broke it up based on offense and defense. Some aren't like that. Everybody can say whatever they feel is necessary, etc. But I do know that in timeouts, that is a universal thing. That is when assistant coaches are talking. In regards to while game action is going on, every coach is different. Some people do not like that only because there's so many different things going on in your head. And we can't multitask as humans. And I mean that. Our brain can focus on one thing at a time in its entirety. So if I'm watching the game and, making sure this, that, and third is happening and you're talking to me, one thing is going to have to take precedence over the other. Whether I'm listening to you to figure out what you're saying and I'm not watching the game, or if I'm watching the game and I'm not listening to you, one or the other. Some people they need it. Some head coaches are like, come and talk to me right away, et cetera, et cetera. Coaches will come sit on the bench. Only talk to me when I'm sitting on the bench if the game is going on. So every coach is honestly different. I don't know what Coach Jay is because I don't know what she is as a head coach. I know that as an assistant coach, she was giving a lot of input in regards to that, so much so that she was the person who was in charge of substituting the post players. So I know she was giving a lot of input in that aspect, but every coach is different as far as in-game action.
You're getting praised left and right on your talking point on rotations. People are happy to hear you spitting facts.
Well, we did go 8 minutes without a basket, so
they did. So you think that that's something that will obviously be a regret from Jan when she watches the tape back?
1,000%, because you could see they were gassed.
Is it fair to say sometimes head coaches do get caught up in the game, and then because I've heard,
yes.
Fran McCaffrey said that all the time. He'd look back at the box score during a press conference and say, "Yeah, I should have gotten him more minutes. I should have gotten him more minutes."
They have way too many things going on in their head to do that. Head coaches will forget a player sitting on the bench. 1,000 point. And then you'll be like, "Hey, coach, we got to get in so-and-so." And she's like, "Oh, shoot. Yeah, they're in, whatever." Did you guys see, this is just an example. Ava is very good on her feet. Everybody can agree with that, right? She's very solid on her feet. The times that you saw her out of control and or traveling is because she's tired. Your brain and everything happening all at once, your body being tired, you're not at your full strength. And so she's now off balance. She's now rushing things or whatever the case is. When you are not tired, you're balanced, you're focused, etc. And I think that's what we were starting to see during that time frame. Plus, when you're trying to outside shoot and you've been playing for 7 minutes straight, especially this early in the season, you're going to get missed shots. So I think that, and on top of that, I say this in the sense of anytime you've gone 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes without scoring, substitution. Because you need you need to mix that up. Like, let's figure out maybe somebody on the bench could, take the lid off the basket or something. You got to get a different flow. So I think it's a learning lesson, and she will definitely watch the film. Coach Jay is a film girl, so she will absolutely watch the film.
I am borderline amazed by some of these comments, like this one. Where is this coming from? It seems like it's a different person says this to me every week. In this case, Levine is greater than Deal. What are we basing that on? I just, if you're right, okay, I'm waiting to see that. I mean, you're going to say that she's not playing enough, but why is it that the coaching staff has some vendetta against Callie Levine? If she's that good, why isn't she playing? I mean, I've had people tell me that she's the best guard on the team. I don't know where that's coming. Is it just all these people that live in Solon? Like, what is it that is making people think that? I would just honestly like to know, because when I've seen her play in a game, I mean, I see why she's not playing a lot. She's a great high school player. Maybe she'll end up being as an upperclassman, someone who can, derive minutes. But what are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at Patrick Wilson's comment. Because that's what I was thinking. It says 4 minute scoring drought equals Emily Rodriguez time.
That's true. That's true. It's ER, Emily Rodriguez. It's emergency.
Oh, Jesus. Listen, she is definitely a mix it up kind of girl. I would have put her in too. Like, you know what? We ain't making none anyways. Let's see what she got.
All right, let's see if we can get our next callers. Yeah, I think we got our next caller on the line without his TV too high. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kasheen Alexander, who's on the line.
Hi, this is Annie from Brooklyn, New York.
Hey.
How you doing, guys?
Annie, we missed you. We're doing good. How are you?
Great. It's good to be back and see you guys. I really enjoy your show.
Well,
your points are really. Oh, go ahead.
No, we always look forward to your calls, so we're glad you're back as well.
Thank you. Oh, you guys are dynamite. I totally agree with a lot of the points you guys have made. I agree with the point that Kasheen made that these tournaments are very exhausting for the players. I mean, day in and day out, you can drag a little bit on the court. But anyway, I'm glad that they pulled it out and they won tonight. It was a little nerve-wracking because they had such a big lead. They almost blew it. But I'm glad they won and came out ahead. A couple of points. I'm glad Hannah has some help with height with Ava, in the middle, because I thought that was kind of lacking. They needed some height on the team after they lost Monica, and I'm kind of glad that Ava's got some height and she played well tonight. What else? I think Stremlo is strong when she gets hot. I think if she gets consistent, I think she can carry this team. I really think if she gets a hot hand and can hit those shots, I think she can carry this team. And keep the team rotating, like you said. Be aware of when to pull them in and pull them out. But I'm glad they pulled out the game tonight, and I'm glad they won. They're 6-0. Hey, what gets better than that?
Yeah, 6-0. They've got wins against in-state rivals Drake, UNI. They got a win against Miami and a win against Baylor. So, and then they've got like a trio of like 70-point wins. So
yeah, good. There's a lot of hope here.
Yeah, it's hard to be upset with what they've done. They've got a long ways to go. Competition gets tougher, but this was a really good test down in Florida.
Oh, I'm so glad they pulled this out tonight. They had me on pins and needles in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I don't know how they went so cold. All of a sudden they went cold. The first half was wonderful, and then they came out cold. Usually, you come out the second half fired. But all right, listen, they pulled it out. They did a good job. They won. They're 6-0, and you can't complain.
Annie, are you going over to the Iowa-UConn game here in a couple of weeks?
I really do not like UConn.
Okay.
I am not a fan of UConn at all.
Well, that's why you're going to go there and root against UConn. You're going to root for Iowa.
Yeah, I'll think about it. It's only a couple of subway stops away from me, Atlantic Avenue. That's the Barclays Center.
There you go.
But
is it at the Barclays Center? Is that where they're playing?
Yeah, usually it's at the Barclays Center, and it's a holiday tournament in December. But the thing is, they are so loaded with UConn fans because we're only like an hour and a half. It's like going to a UConn game.
Right.
And I'm not fond of UConn. Just saying.
I understand
but
totally.
Anyway, yeah, it's I'll think about it.
Well,
but anyway, go Hawks.
Go
I love
Hawks.
the show, and I just hope we can continue to go undefeated. But hey, make it work.
Yep, ride the wave. So thanks for calling in, Annie. We always enjoy hearing your voice.
Exactly. Enjoy your holiday, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. We'll talk soon. All right. Good stuff. Good. Glad to hear from Annie after all this time. And I see some of these comments here. Kenneth from San Jose, Mitchell from Madison, Wisconsin, and Bombs Theo from Milwaukee. Lemansky's from Wisconsin as well. J.M. Ramsey, Fort Madison, Iowa. Brandon's in St. Louis. We got more Oklahoma here from Sam Corbin. We got Chicago. We got Tampa, Muscatine, Charlotte, man, Bettendorf, Seattle. You started a firestorm here.
See, I love that.
Maryland,
love that.
Detroit. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go through some of these later because I just don't have time to go through all of them right now. But yeah, it is cool. We always enjoy hearing from everybody around the country. So all right, let's go back to our phone line. We got Kasheen's favorite caller, Corey. Welcome, sir.
I just want to thank everybody for having their shirts on.
Yes.
Okay. I appreciate
you.
Hey, I don't know. I'll say this about that caller, and I'm not obviously not trying to embarrass anybody. He's the one who came on without a shirt on. He maybe he thought he was off camera. I don't know. Because sometimes I hang out.
Yes, sir.
Well, never mind. We won't go there. Go ahead, Corey. Anything? What's happening over in Michigan right now?
So, yeah, I'm in Metro Detroit. So, but I have an aneurysm right here. I'm convinced after the football game and then this game. But one of your callers was commenting that Iowa would have a lucrative Tums NIL opportunity with the amount of cardiac ulcer-causing games that they're typically involved with, especially KF. But I wanted to ask you, and it drove me crazy today. So we're losing that 10-point lead. And I think many other people have commented that we got stagnated. Now, Stremlow did a nice job possessing the ball and not turning it over, but she wouldn't pull the trigger and take a shot. And we were just stagnated. Everybody was just standing there, and I'm like, somebody do something. Somebody shoot. Somebody. And it was like.
Well, I almost felt, Corey, like Jan Jensen and this coaching staff that were kind of almost content with just trying to ride the defense for that entire quarter. At some point, yeah, you got to score, but didn't it feel like that way, Cash? Because it felt like 10 points was going to be a lot to overcome, and all of a sudden it was a 2-point game. it disappeared pretty quickly. But at the time, it felt like that was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But like you, some other callers have said, oh, by the way, it's so good to hear Annie's voice. And now one of my other favorites is Lemansky and caller John. Those two gentlemen have such grandiose voices. They're just.
You know what? I'll say this, but I'll give a shout out to John. John has showed up to both of our live in-person shows in Des Moines and in Iowa City, and he lives nowhere near either. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And Kasheen, I love your idea of everybody telling their whereabouts. Like Sam Corbin is in Oklahoma, and he's always on. It caught my eye, but anyway, I just was. It just begged for Emily Rodriguez or even Addie Deal, somebody that's going to shoot the ball. Nobody would shoot. And I guess my question to Kasheen is why was Ava Hayden up on the top of the free throw line extended, right next to Taylor Stremlow? Taylor's dribbling around. She's coming up near top of the key, and here's Ava at the free throw line extended. Why isn't she down on the post? Nothing was happening. What was going on there? Please.
One word. Anybody want to take a wild guess at the word that I'm thinking of? One word. I'm giving like 5 seconds. Hold on. You got to let people type. Corey, Lord. Fatigue.
Oh,
when you are tired, you are not. Look, when you are tired, you are going to do and go the path of less resistance. So what that means is when you're tired, you stop offensive rebounding. You stop rebounding altogether. When you are tired, you stop posting up. You just stand there. When you're tired, you start screening and trying to do other things for people to be open because you are tired. There's nothing else you got in that sense. And you don't want to put yourself in a situation where your teammates are going to get you the ball and then what you're going to do with it. So instead, she's just standing up there. She's just not making any movement. She's still got to go down and play defense. How many times did we see Ava lagging the play today? It's because she's tired. 2 games in 3 days. I have done that many times. I have played in Thanksgiving tournaments, Christmas tournaments. It is a lot in that aspect. And everybody is going to be exhausted. They're probably going to take the next 2 days off, okay, in regards to that, to make sure that everybody gets themselves recovered. They go through, not physical therapy, Lord, go see the trainer, etc. But it is because they are tired. If a player is not doing something they normally do, they do all the time without hesitation, that is why.
Yeah, good point. And a lot of us that have been removed from the court many more years than you and have not competed at the level that you did, that's not top of mind. It doesn't register with us as.
I think she played a lot yesterday too. Not yesterday, geez. On Thursday as well, if I'm not mistaken. I know she played at least between 25, 30 minutes, maybe more. I don't know. But I know she played a lot of minutes. And to have that as a quick turnaround, they had to practice yesterday to a degree, right?
Brian says that she played 35.
Yeah. And what did she play today? Got to be at least 30.
She played 35. Or excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong box score. Tonight, Ava Hayden played. Now, give me 5 seconds, right? Tonight, Ava Hayden played 30.
Yeah, that's a lot of minutes to play at a high pace, too, at a high clip of constantly running and rebounding and posting up. Posting up and not getting the ball is exhausting, okay? So I'm pretty sure she was tired.
And
unfortunately.
And I think, too, a lot of that those hustle plays where they kept getting the rebounds, kept getting the ball. Hannah was getting all those consecutive rebounds, and or there'd be a tip out and somebody hustle over and grab it. That those hustle plays take oxygen. So for sure, and I'm just
it's up to the coaches to manage in these tournaments. That is probably what wins tournament games the most. The Big Ten tournament, NCAA tournament, is your ability to manage your players. correctly. Because again, regardless of the fact, you could be in the best shape of your life. And I say that all the time, but they don't play those normally. They play what, Thursday, Sunday, I think is the Big Ten now, right? So their body gets used to that of having breaks and then having to go back to back to back. That's why, if I remember correctly, Coach Bluter and Coach Jay now always play those 2 tournaments so that the first time they play a tournament isn't in the Big Ten tournament, right? They've done this before in this aspect. I know that's why they have every year tried to play those 2 tournaments or some kind of back-to-back scenario in that aspect. So that's not the first time they're playing it is the Big Ten tournament, because that is a disadvantage if that's the first time you're doing it all year.
Yeah, and I just look at, I know there's a lot of haters for Kylie Feuerbach, but, she knocked down those free throws, or at least 3 out of 4, that pretty much sealed that game. And she's got some good hustle plays here and there. But the thing is she's a stable hand with the ball. And I don't like to sit and second guess coaches, but I really didn't agree with Hannah being sent over to the sideline to take the ball out. That is not her strength, is passing inbounds. So you got 5% better free throw percentage on the court. I didn't like that Hannah was passing the ball and then we turned it over. And
I would have took her out, personally. I'd have took her out. I would have subbed her out, get me a good free throw shooter in. They foul us, I'll put her back in for defense. I would not have kept her out there. I get why they did it, because she's the worst free throw shooter on the court. But if that's the case and she's not your best passer, then take her out.
But I mean, she's not horrible as a free throw shooter, but to me, she's worse at making that inbounds pass than she is as a free throw shooter. She was a far greater liability making that pass, because she's made good passes, but she's made a lot of bad passes in her career. That's not her strength. And I didn't
understand that. That one, again, logic is Hannah is the worst free throw shooter. Put her inbounding. She's a senior. No, take her out of the game. Put her right on that first chair, because you're going back. I'm going to put in a good free throw shooter. And then they foul, you put her back in for defense, all is well. I was like, what, why? If you're gonna, I'm not a huge Kylie fan either, personally. I probably would have went with like a Taylor Stremlow or something, because at least I feel a little bit confident in her passing. And that's it. I probably would have went with her. I probably would have went with her, because Kylie at the time was what? She hadn't missed a free throw yet. So I want her out there getting the ball. And then you have Taylor McCabe, so I want her out there getting the ball. In that scenario. And then whoever my fourth is, I brought them in for free throw shooting. And then you have Ava over there in the corner somewhere back down there. So have her set a screen and slip to the basket kind of thing. But yeah, that wasn't, I don't know about that.
And that stretch when we were losing that lead, I think that Journey Houston would have been a good person to be in getting those loose balls, making those hustle plays, filling in all the gaps. She's like that person that always is a plus player. She never is a liability, and she always has good productivity. And she was nowhere to be found. It's like, what is going on? Why is, I don't understand.
I don't get that either.
And if you're saying that Emily Rodriguez is a turnover liability and it's a tight game, yes, but I hope
they all are.
I hope
real quick. I just say Addie Deal. This is going to sound like I'm beating up on Addie. Addie Deal's a turnover liability right now, more than Emily Rodriguez.
She literally gave the ball away. I will say this is that the one play that I think everybody was talking about Emily just throwing it to the other team, actually, that was not her plan. Layla Hayes spun off. She had perfect position, spun off trying to get a lob when she threw it to her. So it looked like she just threw it to the post player, but Layla was trying to spin off of her defender. And I was like, whoa, what just happened? That was not the plan. Obviously their connection was off because Layla was trying to, I don't know what she was doing because I don't even think we had that in our repertoire. I get what she was, but I don't think we had that. The whole spin lob thing. I don't think our team has that. Maybe a Caitlin Clark, but we don't have that. Maybe Taylor Strimler. I can see her being ballsy enough to make that pass. Nobody else can make that pass. So I don't know where she was going with that. But yeah, Journey, you're spot on. I would absolutely put her in a game for her energy. That's it. And I'd have called her up to me as the head coach and I said, listen, you are going in this game for one reason only, and that is to get offensive rebounds and to give us energy. If you can't give us energy within that first minute, you coming back and sitting down. Go. And I would have had to see what she got because that's what she's going in the game for. We need energy right now. We're flat. I need extra possessions. And she would have gave you that because that's the kind of player she is. But I don't know. Maybe it's something we don't know, y'all.
And there's very little risk with Journey. Journey doesn't turn it over. She gets rid of it quick.
Yep.
She doesn't get like jump ball tied up because she doesn't lower the ball and get it tied up in the post. She doesn't make reckless passes. She's a very certain, decisive player, makes good moves, and she's always a plus player. She's never a player that's an overall liability. I've never seen it. And my only guess is that as to why Tegan was in there, she must have had a good week of practice or something, or a good couple days of. I don't know, but that just I was scratching when she airballed that three. I was just like, what are we doing?
Journey did too, but I wasn't sure what she was doing in that aspect either. But at the same point in time, I was like, oh Jesus, okay.
But
Tegan just taking everything that came her way. So
yeah, but Journey also isn't pretending to be a shooter. Tegan is.
Yeah, but I think I would much rather have a player shoot the ball. At least there's a chance for a rebound versus just holding it and getting tied up or something and jump ball or throwing a stupid pass and throwing it away. At least to throw up a shot, at least there's a chance for a rebound. That said, here's my question to you, Corey, and to you, Kasheen. Without chit chat, what is your national ranking for this team? And with chit chat, what is your national ranking for this team?
Thanks, Corey.
What are we What are we right now? We're 19.
Technically speaking, yeah. I first of all, I don't think this is the 19th best team in the country. I'm just saying.
We're going to be, hence why I'm speaking in regards to what we are currently. So we are the 19th team. I think next week we are going to be like 13.
So maybe. if we're predicting next week's ranking, yeah, probably somewhere in the realm of like 13 or 14. Yeah, well, I think that without chit chat, they're not a top 25 team. With chit chat, they're borderline top 25. Like if you're actually asking me, so in other words, I think this team would be in a close game. If I had to predict a Sweet 16 right now, they would probably not be in.
Who's top 25 right now?
Who's top 25?
Look that up for me. Yeah, look that up for me. Who's top 25 right
now? You want me to pull up the whole
list? 25? Yeah, who's the top 25?
Okay, all right.
Because you just said we are barely in the top 25 with chit chat. I want to know who the top 25 is.
Okay, yeah, but you know that's my opinion, right? I'm just giving.
Oh, for sure. No, I'm thinking in regards to if I'm looking at the top 25, and my mindset is like, oh, I feel confident we beat them. We beat them. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, so here's
at the bottom. At the bottom. No. We starting from the bottom. We ain't starting from the top. What's wrong with
you? All right. So the bottom, the teams below Iowa,
Notre
Kentucky.
Dame is 24.
Yeah, well, they're 3-1. We like to overreact to losses. Washington, West Virginia, Louisville, Michigan State.
I feel like we beat Washington. I don't think we're beating Notre Dame on a good day, maybe.
They beating West Virginia?
I'm thinking. I feel like we could get that. Michigan State, I feel like we could get that. Louisville, let me think of their team because I watched them early though.
Okie State, Vandy, NC State.
Oklahoma, I would feel comfortable. Vanderbilt, we have nobody to stop that sophomore girl. So that's
I don't think Iowa State's the 12th best team in the country either, for the record.
I don't either. Absolutely not.
Yeah. It's just too early.
I don't like anything above that, personally speaking. Let me see if there's somebody else up there that shouldn't be up there. Because Baylor shouldn't have been up there, in my opinion.
Yeah, Baylor's 7th in the country on here. I mean,
I don't know if I care for Maryland up there.
Is USC a top 10? Is USC the 11th best team in the country? Without
USC is good. They got to figure it out. They got a lot of new pieces, but they got some talent on that team.
Yeah.
So I think for them, they just, like I said, they have so many new players that they got to gel. But I think they're very good, or they will be by the end of the season.
There's a couple of these teams I have no idea. Like, I don't know anything about Vandy. I don't know anything about Ole Miss.
Vanderbilt has a stud on their team. Woo! That girl had like 42 this year already.
Yeah, I did see that. I've seen graphics.
That girl she's yeah.
Yeah, and then Duke, Minnesota, Ohio State. Those are some teams that are just on the outside looking in.
Duke that's never going to be a thing.
You don't like Duke. I've tried to call Duke a blue blood before, and you're like, they're not a blue blood.
Not anymore. Not anymore. They've been bad for too long.
Okay, there's a couple of super chats that I don't want to forget. Tragus44, thank you. Tragus says, McCabe won this game tonight. She was a solid ball handler, good rebounder, key passes at the right time, and her defense, including the tip at the end of the game, was excellent.
I don't disagree. I agree wholeheartedly.
And that says something when Cash says that a guard's defense is excellent.
Okay, let's not go that far.
You just said I agree wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly.
The play at the end of the game defensively.
Oh. All right.
Thank you. Let's make sure
move the goalpost. Why don't you move the goalpost?
No.
All right. Let's see here. Patrick Wilson says, didn't like Ava passing up the wide open elbow.
Oh, that was horrible.
In the second half to kick out to non-McCabe 3-point shooters, especially with our rebounding.
She did something else in the game too. It was like a drive, and then to me, it was wide open. I don't know what happened, but she passed it to Hannah or something, and that didn't work. And I was like, girl, go up. What are you doing? Why are you passing it to Hannah? Y'all right there.
Yeah, I thought she deferred a little bit at times where she needs to just go up. I mean, honestly, 11 is probably not enough as far as attempts for her, especially when
she'll figure that out. You know, like it's an adjustment going from freshman year, not playing as much to like should be our first option. That's a lot to adjust to. So I ain't mad at it right now.
Patrick, thank you for the super chat. And then Doug, guys are naturally more protective of young ladies. They're like our daughters. I don't think that's what this is. Real quick.
I mean, maybe for him, because I do think that people are protective of women in general. Like they are. In the sense of you can't say anything mean, you can't do that. Like it's like, well, why? Is it gonna hurt her feelings? Like, I don't know. Because I said it before, a lot of people with criticism with women's sports feel like it's a personal attack on the woman. And it's like, no, that's not why I'm saying it. This has nothing to do with her. We're just talking about how she plays. And everybody has kind of that idea. So maybe in his mind, it is that way. I'm sure that in other people's minds, they're seeing it in a different way.
You can get away with it, whereas I really can't.
Get away with what?
Like I get away with it, but like I'm bound to get ripped more. I'm going to be criticized back because I'm criticizing a female athlete.
That's true.
That's what it feels like.
That's true. That's true.
But it's not like you said, it's not personal. So
it's not personal. It's just I'm just trying to evaluate the athlete. Okay. Not the person. The athlete. Them was two different things.
Doug, thank you for the super chat. And Bo, Hayes wasn't playing very well tonight. You agree with that?
Yeah, I wonder if it has something to do with her ankle tweak.
Yeah, she came down and well, here we go. Me trying to say something that's politically correct. She's not a small girl. That's a lot of.
A lot came down on that ankle.
6'4". A lot came down on that ankle. That's my point. Yep.
Okay.
See, you can say it. I can't really say it. So.
Yeah, a lot came down on that ankle. So I mean, I applaud her for toughening it out, though. But you could definitely tell she was a little bit more ginger coming back.
Absolutely, yeah. Bo adds agree take on Hannah. Strimlow needed to inbound. So yeah, I think we all probably agree on that one. And let's see. This user wants us to send a YouTube link of Cash's highest game. So we'll have to
just type in Kasheen Alexander in YouTube. You'll get highlights.
Actually, type in Kasheen Alexander on YouTube. You're going to see all these shows.
I mean, that is true.
You're going to need.
You're going to have to scroll. But
like highlights.
I have highlights in there. So you can go check out highlights. I don't know if they have game film on like actual games on YouTube. I don't know if that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe some highlights. Tony says that we lost, or I lost, all of his respect because of adding in a guy without a shirt. So, boy, I don't know what I can tell you. If it was, if your level of respect for this show was hinging upon one caller who decided to go rogue without a shirt, sorry. Anyways, let's see here. Mike says, I'm out here in the mountains of Idaho. I'm a little worried about going on scoring droughts and not having a player that can make their own shot and get to the line to stop those droughts. Thoughts? Well, my thought is
Emily Rodriguez.
Emily Rodriguez, right?
She gonna get you a shot.
and Chit Chat's hurt. So when you don't have Chit Chat and you're not playing Emily Rodriguez,
there's nobody else.
Yeah.
And again, we say that not to say that every shot she takes is the best shot. We're not saying that. What we are saying is that if you need someone to create, she will. So that's all we're saying.
And Steve says Hayes was much more timid this game, especially in the second half, being defended by someone with 3 fouls. Any idea why?
I'm thinking of injury. Yeah. You're definitely thinking about the ankle when you tweak it in the game. That's certain.
Seth said, I bet Corey had a nice shot. Had a nice shot or has a nice shot? Oh.
Shots. Wow.
Sam, yes, thank you. Hit the like button, everybody. That does help us immensely. Courtney says, now that Strim has stepped up, does the starting lineup change?
I'm assuming he means once Chit Chat is back?
Once Chit Chat's back, yeah.
No, it does not change.
I agree. I don't think you make a drastic change like that over.
You need a backup. You can't play 2 point guards.
Yep, very true. And she's not going to just play point, right? She's going to play a couple different spots. Tragus says, do you think Lisa Bluter watches these games and gives advice to Jan?
Not unwarranted ones. Like, I'm sure they talk. Duh. So I think if Coach, she watches all the games. She watches every game. But unless I'm assuming Coach J talks to her and asks, then absolutely. But I don't think she's just calling and saying, you know what you should have done? Like, she's not doing that.
Yeah, I think there's got to be a fine line that Lisa dances there, to not act like she's still trying to be part of the program when she's not. So, Bo says, couldn't you just remove the floor pieces that have the inner line, switch them? Apparently not on that court. So
no,
do that on. And then he says, Corey, you said not to pick on McCabe last year. When have I said that? Not to pick on McCabe. I don't remember saying that.
I think Corey was trolling me because I was picking on McCabe about her defense.
Probably.
And whatever.
I mean, because I thought she'd improved.
Corey was trolling me. He didn't actually mean it. But
let's see. Michael says Western Illinois was in the MVC and now is in the OVC. Okay, and they are undefeated. The problem is they've played nobody. So that's Iowa's next opponent. Iowa plays a Western Illinois team that has beaten Bradley, Chicago State, Northern Illinois.
Is that home?
Northern Illinois was in DeKalb. The other two games,
Western Illinois. That game is at home, right?
Yeah, it's in Carver.
I'm not worried about that.
And Western Illinois did beat. Let's see, Western Illinois beat Westminster, Missouri as well. I'm sorry, I can't keep a straight face at this late, but they literally did beat Westminster, Missouri.
I don't even know where that school is. What is that?
Westminster,
An NAIA?
Missouri. I'm sure it's my NAIA or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I
Jan
never heard about that game.
Ramsey says, "Do you keep starting Kylie for defense when she can't score?"
Yes.
All right. Arlo says, "Why don't we run screens for Taylor McCabe?"
We do. We run a lot of false action for her to kind of make the defense feel like she's doing something else. A lot of screen for screener actions. She gives a screen to get a screen, that kind of thing.
Brian, do you agree with Jan not using fouls late?
That can go either way, honestly speaking. I mean, I don't think it would have made a huge difference because at the end of the game, even though we did have a foul, that's tight. It wasn't enough time. So I think that you run the risk of potentially fouling, especially with a young team, and then she got a 3 free throws. So I don't know. That's tricky.
Kate says, "Why does the team that's more physical always get all the calls? Seems like it should be the opposite." Well, it's establishing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Right. It's you just establish how the game's going to be called, right?
Correct.
So when
the refs are not going to foul out a whole team. It's just not happening.
Exactly. Yep. All right. JL Fong says, "Cash, in your day, how would you have guarded Caitlin Clark?"
In her shirt.
Okay. Enough about shirts. We've had enough about shirts today, but yeah, you'd have been physical because that's
how been physical and in her jersey.
That's how teams defended her, especially when she was
100%.
Freshman through junior year.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she kind of struggled with physicality at times, and then really adjusted well as a senior, and now she's in the W.
I would have been in her jersey. I would have blitzed every screen. I would have picked her up full court. You're going to work for this. You're not getting no freebies anywhere in that aspect. Now, that does tire a defensive player out, but guess what? I got one job, and that job is you.
Glenn Robinson, I don't know, this isn't the NBA veteran Glenn Robinson, but he says, "Why stick with the sickening starting lineup when they couldn't score?" What does that mean?
I don't know.
The sickening.
I'm assuming he's talking about because they went scoreless for 8 minutes, and that was sickening to watch.
Okay, well, they won the game, but
they did. But that 8 minutes was torture.
Lemansky, I did get Lisa Patterson cookies. So yeah, if you were wondering, David Price, can Strimlo be that second point guard this season when Chit Chat is back? Sure. I mean, I think she's going to have to until Addie Deal comes of age. So, and she's young. Jayhawk, it's okay to criticize Coach Jay, Corey. Yes, I know that. I've been critical of a few coaches in my day. So
yes, you have.
I'm pretty sure that I'm aware of that. Mike says, "I'm a little concerned about having a player that." Okay, we already got this comment. I don't know why it's there a second time.
Brian, you're funny.
Brian,
you must not have seen me in my day. That comment tells me that.
Oh, let's
took
see.
Who to the rack?
Back
the only thing CC was doing was shooting over me. To the rack is crazy. 2-time All Big Ten defensive player over here. You're crazy.
So you're telling me Caitlin Clark wasn't getting by you? I'm just asking. Would she have gotten by you?
She is a very good player, so I'm sure there would have been times that she might have gotten the best of me. However, that would not have been how she beat me. I was a very physical player back in the day. Like, I was physical. So 2 things are for certain. One, if you did get there, you were going to have to, there's no straight line drives with me. So, like, you're going to have to go out or something in that aspect. A lot of the times where I ended up getting stuck was because of ball screens. Because, again, you're behind on a ball screen. You really have to fight over screens, especially with the Caitlin Clark. And that's why at that point we're blitzing because we can't even. If you're behind with Caitlin, it's over. Like you got to blitz. So in that sense, that was what it was. And then if you give Caitlin a full head of steam, you picking her up at half court. She has good enough handles where she's able to get you off your rocker and now you stuck. Now you lunging, and then she's gone again. She got a double step back. Like, nah, we're not playing those games. I'm gonna be in your jersey the whole time. You're not getting any space. Yeah, nope. There's no space. Because one thing I know is when you're dealing with a shooter or somebody that has handles, the space is what allows them to operate. That's why Steph Curry became so much more efficient once he got better with his handles, because at that point in time, you're able to create space, or at least try to. So defensively, yeah, it would have been a battle. Like, but you not scoring 30, 40 on me. That's not happening. So that is not happening. No, I don't care who you are. My pride would not allow it. I would tell coach, don't pass me the ball. I am there for one reason only, and that is to stop Caitlin Clark. I am not an offensive opportunity, because I am going to be dead tired making sure she don't score 30 on us. Thank you very much. That would be my job and my goal.
CJDM says he was at the game this evening, and one thing that he was impressed with was how well Iowa rebounded. They own the glass. True. Yeah.
We are a good rebounding team.
Yeah, and for the game, let's see, rebounds, Iowa out-rebounded Miami 43-29. So, again, it helps when you're forcing misses. So, all right, let's go to our final. We're gonna go very quickly on these final couple of comments. Kevin says, "What's the final score with chit chat?" That's a hard one. Yeah.
You know, that whole upper body thing, I've never heard that in media before. There's usually shoulder.
I think that's their way of saying we don't want to tell you what it is.
Exactly. So I'm like, Again, my thought is it is a concussion. Because when she stood up and took them 2 steps, my girl looked like she was seeing stars. So that's just what I think. And if you look at back-to-back plays, right before she got hurt on the defensive end, she hit that screen. Bang! And I was like, ooh, okay, no. And she fell to the floor. She got back up, and then that thing happened. So it was like 2 plays back-to-back that kind of rung her bell. So that's my opinion. I don't know, but they definitely are trying to keep it under wraps. I'll tell you that. Being all secretive and whatnot.
Steve says you would have been fouled out with Kasheen. So,
My day, we didn't play like they played here. Remember that. We didn't play like they play now. They give them all kind of freedom of movement. Who does that? But I'd adjust it, though, eventually. That's just not how we play. You always adjust to the times, but nah. And the refs are terrible. So what are we talking about?
All right, let's go to our last 2 callers. We're going to go real quick on these. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kasheen Alexander. Who's on the line?
It's John from North Carolina.
Hey, John. How are you?
Good, man. I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents worth.
Yeah.
I think the girls, it's early in the season, but I just don't think they have a good off-season workout regimen or something, because they all look a little out of shape for the first month, it seems like.
Well, I don't know. Do you think there's players that are out of shape, Kasheen?
I'm talking game out of shape. They're in shape, but they're not. I mean, you should be able to play a whole basketball game and get a couple of little breathers here and there, maybe. But
like Kasheen said, I think you could argue rotations were a little suspect tonight because Jan just didn't go to her bench as much as she should have. I mean, typically you're gonna.
She got something against Emily and Journey, evidently.
Well, I mean, there was
teaching them a lesson.
Yeah, there was no bench player other than Addie Deal that played more than 9 minutes. So, and then you take off Chit Chat. And, a couple of those players like Journey Houston played 1 minute. Tegan Mulaney played 2 minutes. Emily Rodriguez played 4 minutes. So, I mean, yeah, I think obviously like Layla Hayes is going to have to get in better shape, like Big Ten shape, right? Kasheen, that's not me being mean. I'm not picking on Layla Hayes.
None of them look in shape enough to be tough enough to play them better teams to me yet. And maybe Jan knows that, and she's trying to get them all these minutes so they'll know, there's no help coming. It's up to you guys. Get out. You're the main people on this team. We're going to need you some games, the whole game. So maybe she's just trying to get that in her head that.
Yeah, Kasheen.
Play a full game sometimes.
Kasheen, you think there's you think there's some validity to that, Cash?
I'm going to say this. Coach Jay was playing a 10, 11-man rotation for 5 games, pretty much, right? Well, 4.5, we'll say, because last game. Your body gets used to what you do every day. And so with that, having to make that change so suddenly, I think is what you're seeing right now. We'll see how good their conditioning is in the coming 2 games. Because again, after that first, it's almost like a back-to-back. It is. It really is a back-to-back game like that. You're going to be fatigued normally, but because there was a huge shift in between the games, that'll make you more fatigued. So I'm curious, and mentality comes into play when you're fatigued. I say that all the time. In regards to how you can push through or not push through and things like that. But we'll see how much they're in shape in the coming days because they're down. So we'll see.
Because I'd have them run wind sprints all next week, and they'd all be hating me by the end of next week.
Well, maybe Jan will do that.
I don't know. That's how I played football and baseball in high school. If you didn't act right, that's what you did. You just ran until you puked. And then they'd try to run you some more,
They may be running the stairs at Carver-Hawkeye Arena.
Oh, Jesus.
I think they need to. I really do, and especially our bigs. Layla.
PTSD.
After the first half, Ava, she was pretty much done after the first half.
Well,
that's all got to be conditioning.
Yeah, I wouldn't say she was done after the first. Did you think? What were her stats in the second?
She was 8 of 8 in the first half, and then she went 9 of 11. So she was pretty much nothing in the second half.
Yeah, statistically, you're right. Offensively, yeah. That tells
me that's when she started getting tired. Was third quarter. She pretty much laid up from there.
Yeah.
Bigs, you got to work them bigs out. They got to get in better shape and have that better cardio. That's why I've always thought. You got Hannah. She can run up and down the court all game long, and I don't know how she's getting tired. So that's why I'm thinking they're not doing enough with the conditioning.
I was just going to say Ava was actually 4 of 6 in the second half.
She just didn't feel like it. I just didn't feel anything from her. The first half, I felt her. Second half.
No, I think there's probably something to be said for that.
She got further and further from the basket because she just didn't have it to go anymore.
Yeah.
And then Layla's already in bad shape, I think, because she hurt her ankle, but she seems like she can lose.
Yeah, she's
a little bit of weight.
Some of there's that freshman curve, strength and conditioning curve. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. And Stremwell, I saw last year. I saw them spurt. Stremwell could be really good, and I think she's going to be the dark horse MVP this year when it's all said and done.
Yeah,
well, I think she's really getting her game together. And then Addie Deal, there's nothing wrong with her. Just you can tell her mind's working at one speed, her feet are working at another speed, and her hands are dribbling the ball at a different speed. And we just got to wait for all 3 of them speeds to get kind of close, and then she'll be all right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just different thing. In high school, you may have went fast, but you didn't have as big and athletic people guarding you. And so that kind of scares you. Then you're not dribbling and you're not looking and your mind's here. You should be over here. And if she'll get there, she's already making strides, I think. So she should be all right.
Well, sir, we appreciate you calling in, sir. Please call in on future shows. We appreciate the support.
Yes, sir. Hey, I appreciate you and Cash. You guys do a great job. Love listening to the show after the games.
Thank you, sir. Have a great night. All right. He's on hold for a long time, so I didn't want to cut him off. I know we're trying to wrap this thing up. James, it's gotta be quick, James.
Sorry I got on late. I don't have a couple. I just will be quick. First off, with the last caller, I truly feel like you could go, and Cash was saying this too, where you could do, you play Hayes a couple of minutes, right? And then if it still needs a break, you go Journey at the 4, Hannah at the 5, right? And then Hayes, then you can go with that rotation again a little bit back in the day. What I mean by that is like Hayes wants to play a little bit then, right? But you still get those minutes from her. And then if you really want Ava to go more, you play Hannah at the 5 for a couple of minutes, right? 1 or 2 minutes, and then you get Ava back in there, right? While Journey's still in there getting minutes, if that makes sense, right? So you can kind of stagger it a little bit better, if that makes sense, right? You don't play Hannah at the 5 the whole time because obviously she doesn't know how to play the 5. I mean, she knows how to play 5, but like you have Ava, you have player who can play the 5, but I'm saying like stagger a little bit, maybe give her some touches at the 5, right? And kind of stagger it off that way was more how I was looking at it, right? Where like Hayes plays like 2 minutes here, then maybe you save an 8 hour a little bit and go, oh, we'll go 1 minute with Journey at the 4, Hannah at the 5, right? Kind of stagger it more. And I feel like they could do a better job at that more.
Yeah, I mean, that's all the substitutions.
Yeah, but the way to win this game to me was more important. I feel like you win in the drought and still find a way to win. And I know how good Miami is. I think that's gonna obviously be figured out as the season goes along, right? But
same with
you
Baylor.
went on a big drought. You went on a big drought and you still found a way to win the game is the most important thing, right? You clutched up on defense when you needed to clutch up on defense, right? And you hit the free throws late. Obviously, Callie missed one, but you still hit the free throws late enough to get your opportunity to still be in that game, right? So benefit to them on that aspect of things, right? And to go 2-0 in this stretch is good, obviously, because you have winnable games across. You have winnable games coming up until you get to, I think, Ole Miss, right? Probably the next one is Ole Miss. Or is Iowa State? Is Ole Miss before Iowa State?
The women don't play Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Yeah, they do. Don't they play Cody McMahon?
No.
The men play Ole Miss.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Cody McMahon the other day.
The men play Ole Miss on.
Who did we play before Iowa State? Do we play somebody hard before Iowa State?
Fairfield's good.
Fairfield.
Yeah, but I think we'll figure it out though. And
we're talking about Fairfield, but Fairfield, Fairfield is good.
Fairfield is good. They have a great coach.
Oh, and they also go to Rutgers before Iowa State.
Okay.
Better watch that
but
game. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, and just enjoying that. But I'm just gonna say overall, it was a good win and wait for them to battle through the adversity, right? And obviously, they were probably dog tired too, right? And they still did enough to get the win, right? Like you're not coming out the whole quarter and you still did enough to play defense and still get the win is even more impressive, right? You didn't get a break at all, so.
Well, James, thank you for calling in, sir, even though it was late.
Yep, no, enjoy your night. Sorry to bother you guys and keep you up a little longer, but enjoy your night and go Hawks.
Go Hawks, James. Thank you, sir.
Fairfield, a hotel.
I saw somebody in the chat asking
thank you so much for the humor, late night humor, because that's
I saw somebody in the chat asking about Chit Chat's injury. We don't know. Upper body. That's all we were told by Iowa. So, folks, if you're in the Council Bluffs, Omaha area, or you can get there next Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Time watch party, but get there before 5 because we'll have a 5 p.m. live show with a very special Hawkeye guest. 5 p.m. Central Time at the new Big Grove Brewery in Omaha on Catalyst Court in Omaha. Wednesday, November 26th, 5 p.m., and then a 6:30 p.m. Central Time watch party for Iowa, Western Illinois women's hoops. Cash, it's late. Thank you for being a trooper. It's been a long show, but it's been a good couple of games. A nice stretch down in Orlando. And your
Great
women's basketball program is 6-0, so there's things to be happy about.
Absolutely. It's a great business trip. 2-0. You can't want more than that, honestly speaking.
Folks, our Big Grove's big play of the day was obviously the nifty play by Taylor Strimlow second quarter, late in the second quarter, the crossover, the hesitation, and the reverse layup finish. And RTI Threads player of the game, Ava Hayden, 20 points, 9 of 11 from the field, 6 rebounds. And the Hawkeyes moved to 6-0. Folks, I'll be back with you. I lose track of the days. Let's see. Tomorrow, Sunday. I won't be here Sunday live, but we'll have live coverage Tuesday night for the Iowa men against Ole Miss. And then again, Wednesday live on location in Omaha. We'll talk to you in person, hopefully on Wednesday. Have a great night. For Kachine Alexander, I'm Corey Bratta from the Hawkeye of the Storm. We'll talk to you soon.
Great to be a Hawkeye.